Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Night Georgia Shooting Connection live stream. Glad to have everybody on board. We got our normal panel with us this lovely evening. We got a couple invites out. Maybe we might see somebody pop in or pop out. But we're glad to have everybody. I see Willie in the side chat. Brother, I hope you are doing okay, and talk to you tonight at some point, to get an update on how things are going. Right now we've got, let me take a look here because it's an update here. We got 10 people watching. I appreciate everybody coming out. I don't think we have too much of a set topic this evening, but I'm sure we'll work into something. But how's everybody doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me on. Been one of those weeks, and this is the relaxation period for me anyway. Dealing with a sick child all week, so I'm just happy to be here and get some conversation and some reloading and all that good talked about. So thanks for having me, guys. Hey, Cal.
Hey, everybody. Glad y'all could all come out. I'm exhausted. It's been hot as crap down here. That's what we were just talking about before we went live, and how hot and dry it's been. And then you got people like Preacher over there that are getting flooded out. It's weird. It's been a long week. Glad it's Friday. Glad we can start winding down, and I ain't got to work tomorrow, so I'm doing great. What's going on, Jay?
Being off on Saturday is an important thing, but it's been one of those weeks for sure. It seems like it's been a full week, even though we had Monday off. And I tell you what I did Monday is I got up and went and picked Kyle up. We went to the cemetery, and y'all saw Kyle's video about that. That was a special time for both of us. And when I got home, we had barbecue and that kind of stuff. And then me and my son went out and put struts on the back of my Toyota Camry. So, Nathan, one thing I want to talk about tonight, I heard you mention briefly just before we came on, you load for 30-30. So we need to get together and talk about what kind of molds you have and stuff.
Yeah, I've got one or two molds, right? I think I got one right now. Most of the rifle molds I use are actually my dad's. Like I had a lot more pistol molds. He had a lot more rifles, so we kind of swap back and forth when we need to. And I think I've got one 30 cal. It's a round nose, probably around a 170 grain. I don't remember. I'd have to go look. Yeah, that's what I've got for 30-30. And I've got everything for it. I think I've only loaded like a box, and that's it. I haven't done any serious loading, so I'll have to learn some stuff off of you.
Well, I still want to get with Cranky Cletus and do a series on 30-30, and I think the natural progression for that would be for you and George Boy 44 to jump in on that as well. We'll just make us one big page over at the Reloaders Network.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, I'd love to take that Marlin out and see what it's capable of doing. Yeah, it's not a bad idea for sure.
That would be fun.
That gun was actually, it was a gift from my brother for Christmas a couple years back. So I've probably had it now for 2 years, and I've never put a round through it. I need to go to the range more often. Hello, Rigby. How are you? How's Minnie?
See her Minnie Mouse? She don't want Minnie Mouse to be on YouTube with her. But she's got a boo-boo on her knee. She wants y'all to see her. Can y'all see her?
I can see a Band-Aid, I think.
Band-Aid.
There you go.
Throw them your Band-Aid, baby. There you go. Take your hands off of it. Look at her covering it up. All right. Run in there and see Mimi.
No.
Yes.
No. Fuzz says he totally dislikes the Lee Tumblelube bullet molds. I'm kind of in the middle on that. I wasn't a huge fan of the tumble lube back in the day. Dad used it to a lot more success than I did. And then with powder coating, the tumble lube seems to be more of a problem than it is anything else. So I tend to agree, but I think that tumble lube design does work for certain things. Otherwise, probably wouldn't have done it. Just don't know what it is.
Obviously, it's for their A-locks.
Yeah, but I always wondered A-locks. I remember when A-locks kind of the what's that, the 40-40-10 or whatever, 45-45-10 method came to be with lead liquid A-locks, and everybody was talking about how it works and all this other stuff. And I looked at it and I looked at the bullets and I looked at everything, and I'm like, I don't think it works how any of you people think it works. I was like, I think it just coats the bullet and it doesn't lube anything. And Dad was like, you're crazy. And then powder coating became a thing. And I'm like, yeah, I think that LLA was doing the same thing powder coating's doing. I don't think there's any lube involved in it because you can't get it to flow under heat or pressure. It just bubbles and burns and turns into a gooey mess that doesn't work. It's like, so, I don't know. I remember trying to use it, I think, in a 44, and it just turned into a mess. And after that, I was just like, nah, not my deal.
Well, I'll say one thing about powder coating. That stuff sure puts some lubricity on the outside of those bullets, because once you get them suckers powder coated, they hard to hold on to, man. Why ain't
Yeah.
they have us drop so many of them? Ain't that right, Kyle?
Yes, sir, it is. I'm sorry I'm not Mr. Chatty Man tonight. I'm really tired. I think I got a little dehydrated throughout the week.
That's no good, man. Gary went down. My brother went down for almost all of last week with it. He was roofing, and he got down off the ladder and told his boss man, he's like, I'm going to go get in the truck. You take me home when you got time. And, I mean, Gary's second. He's the second guy. So it's like, he doesn't just go, get in the truck and be done. And that's what it was. He was a bear caught, and then he had a touch of pancreatitis to go along with it because he was so dehydrated, and he's been laid up for days. When I saw him, he was not doing too good. Uncle Jim says,
got my
sorry,
wind
buddy.
knocked out of me.
Yeah. Uncle Jim says, 10 just finished a video. You'll get the soundtrack. Yes, sir. Yeah. His assembling of that beautiful ruffle.
Mad Sexy, I don't have very many tips for 5.56 and 2.23. I will tell you that the brass prep is aggravating as the day is long, especially with 5.56 because of those crimps. But yeah, what I would say is full length size. If you're doing it for an AR, just full length size them all. And now, if you're doing a bolt action, we would, go through all the steps, but worry about it.
Do you know if anybody has been able to consistently get lead to work in an AR 223?
I have not, but I've only got one mold design, which is the Lee.
Yeah, I mean, as many YouTube videos as I've watched, the ones that I have seen that people were like, "Oh, I'm shooting, sub MOA with this lead." I'm like, nope, I don't trust it. I think they're kind of full of crap. I haven't personally seen anybody have a heck of a lot of luck shooting lead in an AR yet, 223 anyway.
At 100 yards with, I think it's maybe 18 by 24 pieces of paper, with like a 2-inch square in the middle. At 100 yards, out of 10 rounds, I might hit the paper 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's that odd either. I think it's been very difficult to get it to work well.
I can take. I had some 52 grain hollow points. That's on one of my old videos where I was trying. excuse me, where I was trying out that bullet trap, and it was one ragged hole. I mean, it was amazing. if you're reloading for 223 or 556, the thing is you got to look at your barrel twist rate, and then look at what grain bullet you're going to shoot. Like if you can get a good deal on a box of 6,072 grain Hornadies, it's such a killer deal. Buy them up and work a load up. Jacketed bullets, it's not that hard to work loads up for them. But the cast bullets, I hadn't been able to get anything to work.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was Tin Man said something about 7 cents or 8 cents a piece for bullets. Yeah. It makes it really difficult to expend the electricity, the lead, the time of handling and dealing with those little buggers. Yeah, for 8 cents, I don't. I mean, $8 for 100. Yeah. I think that's the route I'll go. I have everything to load 223, but I don't own one. So, I mean, I've even got brass prepped and ready. That's I guess that's when you're too much of a reloader and not enough of a shooter right now.
Well,
how you doing, Bacon?
I've heard and I've had a lot of people tell me this when I told them I have the dies for 223, and a lot of them have told me 223 is a pain to load regardless if you're using, jacketed or manufactured bullets or cast lead bullets. They said it's a finicky. It's not hard. It's just a finicky, iffy type to load for. So I don't know.
What my guess would be on that, Chico, is when I rode for a rifle, I load at the most I'm going to load is 50 in a shot, right? And I take my time, right? Because of rifles, a lot of times I'm loading just 20. I think when people load 223, they try to load it like it's a pistol. So they'll try to load
I'm thinking that
1,000 or 2,000 at a shot, and I think it's just between primer crimps and all the different little changes, I just think that's where it becomes a big pain. Or if you only load 50 of them or whatever, and you take your time and you kind of methodically Uncle Jim your way through it, I don't think you probably have too much issue.
With 223, as long as you go through all the 1,432.6 steps of brass prep and everything is exactly the same, it's really not that bad. I'll load the Loadmaster up with brass, and I don't have a bullet feeder for it, so I just and pull the handle. But you can load quite a few as long as everything's the same. But that's the hard part, because your crimps are going to be totally different if you don't trim them, and there's just a lot of that kind of stuff. But if all things being identical, it is just like loading a pistol. But they change so much every time you shoot them. You got to go through all the brass prep every time.
My definitive line on that is, do I have to lube cases? If I have to lube cases, then it's a rifle and it gets a whole different it gets a different method for reloading. That's one of the reasons why I was kind of bummed when I found out I had to lube the cases for my 450 Bushmaster. I was like, damn it. Now I got to go through all that.
No, just make your own Landland lube and get you a gallon Ziploc bag, and you can do 150 of them at a time.
Yeah, but it's a process for me. I rifle reloading is an entire thing. I have a set process in my head that works pretty well. And it's different than when I'm doing pistol, I can go on my Hornady and just start cranking out 45 ACPs until I'm tired of pulling the lever. But rifle gets a whole nother treatment. I trickle charge every rifle I load. So every one I load, every shot gets weighed and trickled up to exactly right on. And it's just kind of the method that I have for rifle reloading. It's probably stupid, but that's just the way I've always done it.
Warsaw Patriot wants me to make a frog out of used brass. I could probably do that.
Yeah. Was it Uncle Jim that had one? I had a video about making a casting sandbox a while ago. like a couple years ago. I think he did a video. I don't know. I was watching several of those things, so it might have been somebody else. Bacon grease, yeah, but it goes bad, man. Ugh.
That is one way to get a smaller magazine capacity is just increase your bullet diameter.
That's my method. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I know when Mad Sexy asked that, I definitely shouted out Tin Man and Brody 556. I know both of them load 223, and Tin Man said it is finicky. He's having trouble getting the same results on different shooting sessions. And I watched some videos and seen people, hey, they have some issues, like you said. So that's kind of one of them things I'm probably going to have to do it and be like, they told me it was a pain in the butt. That's probably one of them things.
And Vanessa,
It's probably just. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just answering a question for Miss Kitty. Yes, I've got the Hornady. What is it, Charge Master? What is that thing? But yeah, and I love it. Once you read the instruction manual and figure out what all those buttons on the front do, it works fine. The only bad reviews that I've seen are people that don't know what those buttons on the front do.
I really wish I would have got in a couple months ago when they were selling those Charge Master lights for like 160, 170 bucks. I looked at it and I was like, man, I should pull the trigger on this. That's a great deal. And I didn't. And now I'm kicking myself in the patootie over it.
Yeah, they're what, 250, 260 now?
I'm able to find some around 220 on sale. Now I don't like that big Charge Master with the separate pieces and stuff. That take up way too much bench space. But the little Charge Master light, I found some I think around 220 using Gun Dot deals. I think I found somebody who was around 220. Brownells right now is around 220. And of course, if you go on TRN, you can use their link. So if I pull the trigger, that's what I do. But I think right now I'm going to save my dollars.
I've got this one, and I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
It's
lock
not
and
on it any-
load electronic powder dispenser thing.
How does that
Is it-
work, Kyle?
It
You like it
works
or you don't like
it works fantastic.
Once you learn how to slow it down at the appropriate times, the thing's nuts, man.
You can adjust the speed at which it pours for different powders because, real fine powders, you have to pour slower because more of it will come out. You can adjust the speed, 3 different speeds. You can adjust. It'll go start out low until it starts seeing weight increase, and then it'll speed up to like a jet engine RPM. It'll spill 40 grains of 4064, and as long as it takes me to seat the bullet, crimp it, I'm grabbing the powder charge off for the next one.
That's right. Robbie Ransom has a great question. How is it that a 22-250 with 1 in 14 twist stabilizes bullets fine, but 1 in 9 AR doesn't? Is it a velocity thing or is it barrel length? What grain bullet are we talking about, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain on that. I mean, I'd have to go digging in the books to find out what kind of speed differences we're talking about, but and bullet, right? Because it's all about bullet shape and bullet design.
Yeah.
I think I just saw Kyle duck down, so I'm sure he's digging out a book.
I'm fixing to get one. What I'm thinking is, and what I've picked up from you guys is, and Eagle, you're out there. I hope you're listening. I think as far as the barrel twist is concerned, something we talked about on his last live stream on his giveaway the other Saturday is it's more like the longer the bullet is, more than the bullet weight. Like if it's a longer bullet,
Yeah.
It takes, which is naturally going to weigh more, so it's going to take a faster spin rate to stabilize it. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, bullet shape and bullet design is going to have an impact on what it needs for stabilization, right? If you think about a missile, it's real long, and it's going to act different in the air depending on how fast it's spinning and how fast it's going and how it exits the muzzle. A lot of those 223 bullets are kind of short and squatty.
Between a 22 250 and a 223, the 22 250s for the same bullet weight are going 1,000 feet per second faster.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what you're running into then. Is that extra speed's able to shoot the more the larger bullets and still maintain, because I mean the 22 250 is a varmint type gun, so it's meant to reach out there too, right? So
Yeah, for 4064, looking at 2531 on a 223, and what did I say? 3250 on a 22 250.
He says it's a 69 Sierra Max King or 77 grain at the most. You have to admit that it's strange, but it's when Kyle says it's going 1,000 feet per second faster. Yeah, that's not that strange. And the reason it's going so much faster, you got a lot more pressure and a lot more powder capacity. Correct?
yeah, absolutely.
Unclose the book.
There's I want to say that 22 250 is a neck down 30-06, but I could be wrong.
30-06 or 8mm Mauser. I'm pretty sure.
Well, the only difference between those two, except for the neck diameter, is the length. The 8mm is a little shorter.
Yeah.
They're the same parent case. And seeing as how the 8mm came out in 1898 and the 30-06 came out in 1906, then you have to say that the 30-06 is a child case from the 8mm Mauser, only longer.
Well, they did have to pay, licensure fees to Mauser for the Springfield. So
yeah, while we were fighting them during World War One, that makes a lot of sense, don't it? Oh, Taco had a great video today on 3040 Craig. I hope everybody saw that.
That's the one that's on my docket. I haven't got to yet. It's next.
Yeah, I haven't been home long enough to watch a whole lot of videos. I've been worked all day and then rode the roads all night, grabbing kids up and all that. So
Tin Man's bringing up talking about Eagle Eye, and Eagle Eye is a hell of a good resource. His ability to test and do it quickly has been really amazing. Like since we've been hanging out and talking or whatever, the amount of knowledge he's gained in the past 2 years, because it's like he's like a dog a hold of a bone. When he tests, it's like he's trying it now and going out tomorrow and testing. Okay, that didn't work, and trying something new. And with that coupled with the kind of an analytical mind, man, he's learned a lot of stuff. And he came to the board with a whole lot of crap. I mean, he was paper patching, stuff like that. So he's been involved a lot, and Eagle Eye he's a great resource for everybody. Josh is as well. Josh is kind of usually goes a little bit more of the slower type, simpler kind of route with a lot of different things, but gets a great results with what he's doing too. So.
Good giggly wiggly. Yeah. 22 250 with a 55 grain jacketed B Max Hornady bullet. You're holding anywhere from those are reduced loads. Anywhere from 33.9 up to 41 grains of powder, depending on the powder. And it's running from 3,368 feet per second, up to nearly 7,000 feet per second. 3,700 feet per second.
Hey, wait, what? What book you looking at?
You knew what I meant. The 223 Remington 3,000, 3,100 feet per second is fast. So you're looking at a lot more velocity. Let's see what they're running with that same bullet.
That's exactly what I was looking for, but I don't have a listing for that one.
They don't have the exact same bullet.
I grabbed a powder that was on both of them and just looked it up, and it's about 10 grains more powder.
Warsaw brings up using an AR or 223 for home defense. I think that's not as uncommon as it may have been a couple years back. And depending on the person and what's available and their ability to be able to use it and everything else, I think it's a fine option. I tend to think there's better options, but I think that depends on every individual's level of comfort utilizing a firearm. Paul Harrell does some great self-defense videos, and I think that's something that's worth it for everybody to watch and see. I mean, 'cause he does some tests, even going like, will this go through drywall and things like that. He does some tests even on that side of it for, shotgun, different types of shotgun loads. And I personally, my favorite self-defense round is a 38 Special Plus P. But that's my taste, right? I'm much more comfortable snatching up a revolver and getting to work than I am dealing with an auto in that case. Now, if I was at war where I'm carrying something on my hip a little bit more accessible and everything else, then an auto works. But if I'm digging around in clothes or pulling it out of a dresser drawer or whatever, I prefer a revolver. And I've never been one for a shotgun for self-defense. It's just not my style. I want more than one or two rounds, even though the chances are you're never going to need more than one.
Well, for people that are new to shooting and they want something to defend their home, what I recommend to them is a 12 or 20 gauge pump shotgun with buckshot.
Yes. I'd agree with, especially like you said, new shooters or people who's not familiar with certain firearms. Me personally, it's gonna be my sidearm is my first choice, because that's gonna be the one that I'll be able to sweep, to be able to access quicker than my AR. But my second choice, if we really got some problems, it's the little AR I have, and we really have some problems. Somebody gonna be in trouble. But yeah, shotgun. I grew up with a shotgun in the house because that was easy, accessible. You kind of just point and pull the trigger if you needed to. Hopefully, you would never have to do that. But yeah, I agree with Jamie. 20 gauge or 12 gauge. Sometimes.
Uncle Jim brought up the 300 Blackout, especially suppressed. And I'll tell you, that is to me, a shorty one of those is a hell of an option for any kind of defense type work.
You can't argue with that.
Yeah. Big old bullet.
In a room, whatever, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
with the can on it, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. Here's the thing. I personally, most of your home invasions are going to take place, if you're talking about a home invasion type setup, are at night. So if I pull the trigger, I'm deaf and blind. Good luck.
Yes, that's true. It's really hard to hear other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, with a can, at least you can somewhat hear afterwards. You'll have some ringing, but it won't be so bad you can't, hear something. Yeah. And what I think the 300 blackout, especially like a shorty, would be good for is if you're having to protect property. So whether you're talking about like coyotes getting into your chicken pens to, the Chinese coming over the hill, the 300 blackout is going to be a hard one to beat, I think.
I agree.
350 Legend, I think that might be a little too much, brother, for my taste. That thing's scooting right along, brother. Woo! When a 357 match just won't do it.
He said fire a gun in the house and then choose. And I don't know if any of you guys ever heard a gun go off inside an enclosed room or like a house. It is loud. It is very loud. It will probably shock you. You know how the echo and the flash bang sort. I want to say, man, it's terrible. So I guess a suppressor would. I gotta wait 13 months to get one, right?
You may have some question to answer for later, though, but that's one of the things that Harold gets into with his stuff is, about using reloads and self-defense and things like that. And I'm not, trying to necessarily kiss this dude's butt, but what I am saying is he's actually been in a couple shootings. So when he's telling you like you're going to have to deal with lawyers on this, it's probably pretty good advice. Ocean, I don't want to hear that you're nearly deaf. I mean, deaf is one thing, but death is bad news, brother. You shouldn't be near death. I know I have a hard enough time hearing. I was somewhere this week and somebody was just chatting right along on the left-hand side of me and I was just nodding my head, had no idea what they were saying. Oh.
One problem I got with is people don't look at me when they're talking. When they're not looking at me and they're not enunciating, I have trouble understanding what they're saying. Now, I don't know if I'm halfway lip reading and I'm hard of hearing, or if they're just lazy tongued and not enunciating, and on the phone, it's really bad. When they put their phone on their shoulder and go like that and start talking, I'm like, all you hear is gargled up, googly goop. Oh, man.
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you. But my boss, bless his heart, my previous boss did this, and it used to drive me nuts, and now my new one's doing it, is he'll talk to me from his office into mine. And he's an old Navy guy. He's got to be darn near just as deaf as I am. But I'll have like a fan going or something up in my office, and he'll go to talking to me, and I don't hear any of it. Finally, I got to get up. What'd you want? Hey, did you see this about? I'm like, yeah, I read my emails too. I go sit back down. Butterbean 30-06 is loud in the house, but I got that buck though. You skin this one, Pilgrim. I'll go back and get another one.
Yeah, you're right. A 12 gauge double-aught buck in the house would be loud.
Oh, yeah, I'd be the end of that.
And it will go into a couple of different walls.
Yeah, that's what Harold was showing is that I don't remember enough of it, but I mean, I think it was just standard type buckshot or whatever. I don't remember the numbers or anything. Blowing right through both sides of the wall and still having enough energy to be dangerous on the other side. And then somebody brought up, the hostage situation. It's hard to prepare for everything. Like, is there one gun that's perfect for all of it? That 300 blackout would be close. I'm still a big fan of that 38 special plus P, but
well, that's what 300 was designed for. It's a room clearing round.
Yeah, it is, and I think it does that pretty daggum well, and it shoots out to 100 yards.
One I was wanting to know about taking a headshot, somebody holding a loved one hostage. Yeah, I think you can get into all kind of scenarios if you want to play that, but I'm kind of like Nathan there. You get a good shooting Smith and Wesson revolver, you ain't gonna be afraid to take that shot.
Well, I'll tell you, if I was in that situation, Warsaw, one of my bigger problems would have been that I most likely would have stepped and slipped in the puddle of urine that I would have left behind me if that was the situation. Anything past about 3 or 4 seconds in a deal like that, when all of a sudden reality hits you, what's going on, I'm probably not the best man for that. Within that first 3 or 4 seconds, I'll react and I'll be cool and calm. But after that, man, you have somebody in a hostage situation, Jesus, I have no idea what I would do. I'd love to think I'd be all Jack Bauer, but most likely, probably not. I'd probably lose my shit and not be safe to shoot anything. I'd love to say I wouldn't, but man, I don't know. I've had one situation where I had a gun on somebody, and after he went back out that window, I was so scared I couldn't see straight. So maybe I'm just too much of a puss, but that's a hard one to deal with. I hope to God I never have to deal with it.
That's the thing. You just train for all the scenarios you can come up with, like what Warsaw was talking about, and hope you never have to use it. Pray you never have to use it. And you don't really know what you're going to do until that situation does show up. I mean, you can be trained up and prayed up, but until you're actually faced with a situation, you don't know how you're going to react. Nathan, unfortunately, has been in that situation and didn't like the aftermath.
Yeah.
But one of my contentions about the pump shotgun is hopefully after you rack around in there, you're not going to have to fire it.
Yeah, that's almost a fact, almost in every case.
Yeah, one of the things I have going for me there, Warsaw, is the loaded cap gun's flight skills are on point. So most likely somebody kicks in the door and she just jumps out the window, leaves me holding the bag, hopefully.
So, Chico, you want to run down the side chat for us, brother?
Yeah, I definitely will. I'm starting from right now. We got Simpson Road Larry, Vanessa Kitty, Mad Sexy 45 ACP, Michael Signs. We got Lowe's of Bacon, Signal Soldier 31, Eagle Eye Shooting, James Pollard, Fuzz T Fork 8, Warsaw Patriot, Uncle John, Lead Bullet Junkie, Ocean 374, Loaded Cap Gun, Tin Man. Who else do we have? Uncle Jim, Kyle Luss is in the room with us. Butterbean 05. Let's see who else. Let me scroll up. No, I've seen somebody else different. Vanessa Kitty, Tacos and French Fries, and one more. Blue Hiller 260, Floyd Hicks, the Crazy Scotsman. And that's it at this moment. Sorry if I miss any of you guys. If I miss you, drop a hammer like Uncle Jim says, and I'll call you out.
I didn't see Blue here. Glad you can make it, brother. Yeah, no shit, brother. Fuzz, you're that's tickling my tinfoil hat right there. Hey, Chris 338. Hope you're doing well. How you feeling, Signal Soldier? You getting better, brother? Oh man, yeah. I ended up sending Cameron 300 bullets because I couldn't stand the idea. This is how terrible I am. I wanted to give him the light blue, the green, and the purple. And I didn't want to give him 50, 50, and then 100 of one. I wanted it even, so I just gave him 300 bullets. That way he had 100 of each color. That's some OCD right there.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I sent out.
I kind of had that when same issue. I had an issue like that where I didn't want the number to be like, I wanted to send out, when I sent out 100 bullets, I didn't want to send like 49 one color and 51 another color. I kind of had to make it even. I was like, yeah, they don't.
Oh, Michael
But then I started mixing powder coats. I was like, they can't tell.
Michael Signs is funny. He said it'll be an egg-smelling smoke screen if somebody breaks into my house.
What's this?
Curtis, no, I have not. It is in the exact same. Last time I wrecked the flight streak, it was in pieces, and I mean really tiny pieces. And I was able to get the wing back together, but I had to redo the fuselage, and I haven't mounted the motor back on it since. So it's been sitting since I redid it years ago.
It's like Dylan Blue up there too, ain't it?
Yes, it is. And Loaded Cap says, "What if he's colorblind?" That shit ain't funny, honey. Not one bit. That's terrible. Messing with my heart like that. Mad Sexy, glad you could come out, brother. I threw you a subscribble. I will check out some of your old videos later. Anybody heard back from Willie? Is he doing better, worse, the same? I mean, I know I saw the videos, and I saw he was on chatting a little bit earlier.
I hadn't talked to him.
Okay.
I was going to call him yesterday, but I figured he'd probably asleep.
Yeah, when he was on that video, he was out, brother. You could tell he was just ready to curl up and go to sleep. I'm not painting that press red, James. I like the blue. It's you know, it's funny, man. It's so weird to have something so insignificant be a thing. When I was a kid, a teenager, probably 13, 14 years old, we started going to an indoor gun range. And there was two things at that gun range I saw that I was drooling over when I was a kid. One was Dylan. They were doing reloading classes out of there. So I was after a Dylan 550 when I was a kid. And two was a Ruger 22. Which model was that? That was like a Mark II or a Mark III that they had in the case for like 6 months, and I was drooling over it. And I never got that the exact Ruger I wanted, but now I finally got the press. So one thing down, it only took me 25, 6, 7 years. Damn. But I'm not painting that thing red. I've got a red press. It's over there.
Some people think the blue Kool-Aid's better than the red Kool-Aid, but some people think the red Kool-Aid's better than the blue Kool-Aid.
Both have their purposes and their ways.
Kingpin joined us, which reminds me, Chico, have you received anything in the mail?
Yeah, you know what? I was just sending somebody a message back. I did. I got a package and I wasn't able to video because, like I said, my son's been sick since Saturday. I think I got it Saturday. And then Kingpin sent me something, so I definitely appreciate that. And I was like, did I win? And I was just like, I definitely appreciate it, man. I was thinking about I'm gonna have to do a video because I think I gotta go buy something to put that on. I want to put it in my garden. I think that'll be awesome because I got them everywhere in the house, you know. I definitely appreciate that, bro. I didn't know how I deserved that, but I definitely appreciate that, man.
That was part of your prize from my 300 subscriber giveaway. Kingpin kicked in an American flag for everybody, that all three winners.
Yeah.
And I can't thank you enough, Mr. Kingpin.
Well, I appreciate both of y'all, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go buy a flagpole and put it out there in my garden, and just put it out there right in the center of the right in the center of my raised beds. Miracle food, right here.
We don't get any rain, you ain't gonna have a garden.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think
I've been turning on the faucet, man.
I think my tomato plant's pretty well done.
A little early in the season for that.
Yeah. Well, there was some decision or some discussion about how much water to water it, and well, it's 98 degrees, so you figure out how that worked out.
I've got a 55-gallon old It was a food grade peanut butter barrel when it was born. And I've actually got a couple of them around here. I've got it sitting outside underneath the AC condensate pump. So that's a never-ending supply of water in Georgia in the summertime.
That's not a bad call, yeah.
So I just go down there with a gallon pickle jug because I've got all of my veggies on the back deck, not the porch because it's covered. The back deck's not. Just in different sized, various containers, pots and stuff. So I'll just make about 3 or 4 trips up and down the steps on the deck, dunk it in that blue tote, and go up there and just water away.
Yeah.
Within 2 hours, the tote's filled back up.
Hey, man. Waste not, want not, right?
And I ain't got to pay for it because this house wasn't in the city. And they charged me more for non-city sewage service, 30 years after it was connected to the city than they do for water. So if I ain't got to turn a faucet on, I don't want to.
Fair enough.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Let's talk about Kool-Aid's going to make somebody go find some Crown. Brother, that is a mix that I have never taken part in.
Crown and Kool-Aid?
That just makes my teeth wiggle.
I've even gone as far as tequila and Mountain Dew, but never Crown and Kool-Aid.
Oh, dude, Mountain Dew as a mixer is just so bad. Oh, I'm trying to think about those nights, man, because when you're in your 20s, you do some really bad. Oh,
yep, that's when it was. I learned different.
Oh,
I generally like my Crown with ice cubes.
yeah, exactly. I'm with Warsaw. I'll take a little bit of water. Yeah. Whew. No, wait a minute. Hold on, though. I have had grain alcohol Kool-Aid before.
That's called Hunch Punch.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Is that what it is? So wait a minute. I've had grain alcohol Kool-Aid, so that's not, I guess, too far out of the realm of possibility, but
Well, it's golden grain. That's like gasoline without the flavoring.
that is correct.
Nice rocket fuel, man.
Vanessa's going tequila and Mountain Dew. It's actually not bad.
No, it is. It's terrible. He's lying to you. Oh.
Black cherry wine coolers. I didn't picture you for that kind of girl.
Yeah, I did. Bartles and James was a thing back in the day, brother.
Oh, you was probably one of them Boone's Farm Strawberry Hills too.
I drank my fair share of Boone's Farm when I was a teenager.
How many Zimas? Be honest.
Quite a few. Quite a few. Hey, look, I was much more social when I was younger, and the girls that I grew up around, it was Zima and Boone's Farm and stuff like that. So yeah, that happened.
I got to mix up some more of that Ed's Red. That was good. But I am going to have to wait because I'm not sure if it's gun cleaner or beverage.
So Uncle John says the last Kool-Aid he had, he was with this Jones guy, and didn't sit well with him.
He's trying to keep up with the Joneses?
I think it was a little bit different at Jones. That Jim Jones Kool-Aid.
Tacos and French fries I ate. I drank Mad Dog 2020 one time when I was about 16 or 17 years old.
Tacos and French fries must go to Del Taco a lot.
And there's Jerry. Nice to see you, buddy. I was binge watching all his videos last night while I was smelting lead. So I finally got some ingots ready. But I got I think I got about 20 pounds of soft lead to stick on, then about 30 to 40 pounds of the clip-on. But the clip-ons, those steel clips really take up some room in your bucket. You think you got a lot more than you do after you get them smelted down.
Yeah, that's definitely
those
true.
clips, When you're done, you take those clips out. Yeah, they take up a lot of room. Just the
There's
clips
a
by
lot of
themselves,
weight.
You got a lot.
With what me and you and the Crazy Scotsman did on the back porch that night when he was over here, I've still got that 5-gallon bucket full of clips. That thing's heavy as heck, man.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like buying wheel weights from tire stores and all that, because they charge you scrap lead price, but you're paying for a bunch of steel, you know?
Yeah, and
Well, you
whatever
should
zinc
always
and everything else
hold
might
on
be.
to the
Well, if
deal.
it's a scrapyard, you usually don't have zinc in there, but
Since we're on the subject of weird alcoholic drinks, a good Irish car bomb's not bad.
when I was younger, yes, sir. My drinks have become increasingly more simple. It usually involves something clear and something else clear. So,
Yeah, like this. I got one bottle of water, and then right beside it, I got another bottle of water. But yeah, back in the day, man, I could do some elbow bending. My thing was like Scotch, Maker's Mark, Crown, Jim Beam, Wild Turkey, with like 1 or 2 ice cubes.
mm,
Man, that's good stuff.
my drinking habits changed dramatically as I got older. When I was young, it was completely off the chain. So when I was a teenager, it was it was insane. And then as I got older, my guts couldn't take necessarily as much punishment, so I turned to almost being primarily a beer drinker. And now I'm older. Every once in a while, I'll just have a vodka tonic or something like that. But yeah, when I was young, man, when we'd load up to go to the beach, one of the guys I used to run with a lot, he'd have whatever beer was in the back of the car, and he would have 2 pints of Seagram 7, and I'd drink one on the way to the beach, and then I'd nip on the rest of the second one to keep that level of buzz going on. And I bet you I didn't weigh but 140 pounds, and it was only like a half an hour ride to the beach. So how I was able to operate like that, I have no idea, but I burned it off quick.
When I was living in Vegas, I went to a bar that I didn't frequent, and I said, "Just give me Jack Daniel's neat." Oh, I can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? We have to put ice in it. I said, "I don't want ice in it. I want a Jack Daniel's neat." Well, I have to put ice in it. I said, "Okay, I'll tell you what. You put the whiskey in the glass. You bring the glass over here with 1 ice cube. You put the ice cube in it, and I'll take it out. I don't want it watered down." Hey, I didn't really go back there.
Well, Bacon, you were a smarter man than I. You probably did not waste nearly the amount of money that I did when I was young. Because I wasted a ton of money. All the cool reloading equipment I could have got way earlier on. I'll tell you what, if you guys ever end up having to do this, and Kyle, I don't know, you might or whatever, maybe you've already done it. If you're going to take apart that Dylan, you really, really need to get a decent punch. Unless you have one that has the different links. Mine's got the one link has a hole through it, and you got to run a punch through there and then push the other one out the other end. I spent all night long.
You talking about dropping the ram out of it to clean it and all that?
Yeah, I spent all night trying to drive that pin out of there. I finally got it out, and I didn't break my thumb, but I had it all swolled up and bruised up because once I got tired, I missed. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who makes it. Somebody makes a gunsmithing tool punch hammer kit. It's in a green case.
I got it over here.
I think Caldwell makes it.
mm.
Walker?
It's got a hammer. It's got all kinds of different punches. It's for AR-15s is what it's for. It's got all your punches and brass drifts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was actually perfect. I had the ram out of my deal in about 3 minutes.
Well, this one, I mean, it was pretty tough. And I mean, hey, if I was back at the shop, wham bam, no problem. I got a 20-ton press over there. I'd have this thing out in seconds. I have all the drifts in the world. I have everything I need. But here at this house,
the bolt out.
yeah, here at this house, oh hell no! I'm trying to beat that thing out using an Allen wrench. I mean, it was ugly. It was ugly. Several sockets lost their lives.
Oh Lord.
So Nathan, how did the previous owner take care of it? What was it pretty clean, or a lot of rust on it or anything?
There wasn't hardly any rust on it, but it was pretty grody, and I'm pretty sure it was in a smoker's house before, and it was gummed up and it needed to be pulled apart. So when I pulled it apart, and I know previously from doing stuff like this, textured powder coat and Comet really are a good mix. So I had a toothbrush and some Comet and just went over it and cleaned it all up and then re-lubed it and put it back together. And it works like that is the smoothest operating press I own. And I have several brand new presses around here. And that thing's probably, I don't even know how old it is. So
I think Warsaw's getting auto corrected.
There's Willie.
Hey, brother.
yeah, so I'm real happy with it. I wish there were some pieces that I got a guy on Cast Bullet for him that's I bought another manual prime system for it so that I have all the pieces, because there was the small pistol primer stuff that I was missing. And being that I'm probably going to load 9mm on that thing a lot, that's definitely something I'm going to need. So.
Warsaw, I'm not sure I'm picking up what you're putting down about Real Avid.
Yeah,
Real
that's
Avid
a
makes
company
good stuff.
I've got. Yeah, that is a company, Kyle. He putting it in there right. My gun cleaning mat when I recently did my tool bench.
Okay, I got you now. No, it was I think it was Caldwell or something like that. The only reason I picked it up is because I was building my 300 Blackout and didn't have that exact sized roll pin punch that I needed, and it was actually in that kit. So I thought, okay, $29.95, get it.
Yeah, it probably would have cost that to buy the roll pin punch by itself.
Exactly. Now I've got a brass and a plastic hammer. I got everything I need to not mess anything up. So
Yeah, I've got a good dead blow. It's an older one. It's not a dead blow. It's rubber on one side and then plastic on the other. Craftsman, and I've had that thing for years, and I've actually got two of them because it's such a good little hammer, and that's what I use for most of my gun smitten stuff. But Tuesday night I resorted to a freaking claw hammer after that thing. I needed steel. And being I'm not the shop, I don't have decent hammers or anything, so the only thing I have is a daggum claw hammer.
Lever Guns joined us, and Andy 79 Z28 popped on there.
Yes, sir.
you're not saying it right. You got to go Andy 79 Z28.
Yeah, speaking of the saying it right, I haven't seen any Rebel SST-AMC tonight. Uncle Jim's titty video had me laughing so hard I couldn't see straight. Somebody was trying to talk to me on the phone, and I had to hang up on them.
I must have missed something because I didn't really get that at all.
Okay, the long and short of it is Tim has again a light fixture in his room that resembles a breast.
Right.
And that just turns into, man, you know this group, it turns into a thing. And now, like, Uncle Jimmy, his entire house is full of them. And he's, like, getting chocolate milk from some and just, oh, shit, man. And
Oh, no, I get it. That's what was with all the milk. Oh,
Yeah, the
I feel like an
titty.
idiot.
Come on.
I feel like an idiot.
Fresh
I was laughing so hard I thought I was gonna pee myself.
Well, that's what I commented on that video for Uncle Jim. I said, "Hey, man, you're so artistic. A lot of times that stuff goes over my head, but I got that one."
I liked it when he was trying to open the cabinets and it was in the way.
Well, he was beating his wood against the titty.
I understand.
Yeah. That and the Fu Manchu and the milk. It just, man, Uncle Jim.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, brother, you're an artist. You, sir, are an artist.
Willie, you feeling okay, my friend? Guess I could type it.
Yeah, I asked him earlier, and I know how it is. It's hard to get across what's going on. He probably doesn't want to air it all out there anyway. So if he's available, maybe after chat we can see how he's doing. That's a problem. Well, no, I guess I was gonna say it's gonna get late, but probably be close to dinner time.
And there's 67 Rebel SST AMC.
Hey,
STAMC.
I saw that Warsaw doing the wood burning stuff. You asked for ideas. I think the TRN for bacon would be pretty cool.
You're not supposed to say that while he's on here.
I typed it already. We're grown-ups. Well, at least in this respect, I'm terrible with that stuff. Like surprises are. I'm terrible at surprises. Always have been.
Is the live chat as delayed as the video? Does anybody know that answer?
Yes.
Okay, so everything that I've typed in response to the comment right above it, y'all didn't see for like 3 minutes, right?
Not that long, no. It's maybe 15 to 20 second delay at tops. Ain't that right, Chico?
Yeah, it's got a little lag in it.
He must be typing.
That's because we're popular.
Yeah, Capgun said something, and I put LOL, and then, it was right, bam, right under it. And then I hear you talking about something that I saw 20 seconds later down here. I'm like, what? I didn't know if it was just me. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea, brother. I can barely keep up with the side chat anymore. I'll just end up reading it the whole time, which ain't no good, you know.
Yeah, that's
oh yeah, talking about the red eye. Yeah, it's like I don't know what'd she say. She said something. We went and saw Godzilla today, which was amazing.
Is it worth going to watch?
You damn right it is. And if you got one of those big old fancy theaters, go watch that. Go watch it there. Seriously.
Talking about with the bed or just with the recliners?
With the recliners or with the giant screens or whatever, man. Ours has the recliners and such in it. The sound isn't as impressive in that theater as I was hoping it was going to be, but it's still pretty daggone good, especially for here in Valdosta. I totally, man, if you can go to IMAX, that's the way to do it. That would be, it was amazing.
Studio Movie Grill.
What's that?
Studio Movie Grill. Have y'all ever been to one of those?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my parents have
get
one
up,
up there where they live, up in LJ. And I like to go up there and drag them off the mountain and bring them down. Do what?
They might even bring you chocolate milk, Uncle Jim.
Right. No, yeah, they got recliners, you know, all your normal movie stuff. But on the other side, you can order a martini, a hamburger, onion rings. They got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Killer. It's killer. You talking about dinner and a movie? You only got to go to one place.
That's crazy.
I might see if they want to watch Godzilla on Sunday. That might be fun.
Yeah, I haven't seen John Wick 3 yet either, but both of them, the first two, are on the some of the other channels.
Yeah, I love the first two. I'm gonna see it. It's just I don't know if I'm gonna get to see it in the theater or not. I don't know. I'm too much of a tightwad.
Now, are those the Tom Cruise or the Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves.
Okay, I hadn't seen any of them.
John Wick's really good. I got the Lee Dies Rebel for the 450, which is surprising because I have a ton of Hornady dies, and being that it's kind of a Hornady thing, I should have got Hornady dies for it, but the Lee were what was available. Yeah, LJ is a pretty cool city. One of my friends goes up there a lot for some kind of Apple thing, and
The Apple Festival.
yeah, up in LJ. I kind of have a Helen thing where I like to go. I love to go hiking up there, and that's kind of my deal. If I ever end up leaving here, that's where I want to go. Is up kind of northern style of Georgia, somewhere where I can go hike and.
And you go in October, don't you?
Usually, yeah, October and March.
For the Oktoberfest?
No, actually, surprisingly, I've never been there for Oktoberfest. I try to schedule around it. I like there to be less people.
Right.
And the more people, the more I don't care for it. And, like, yeah. And Helen's one of those places to where it tends to, like, it'll shut down. And I also tend to like to get there on Sunday and leave on Thursday.
Yeah. The weekends they are terrible up there. If you go up there in the middle of the week, you'll actually make every red light and you don't spend 45 minutes in that 2-mile section that goes through LJ.
Yep.
Or Helen. Either way. But yeah, you go during the week, you can actually have some fun.
Yeah, and most of the shops that you want to go to are still open anyway. I found that when we were kids, we go do right off the Skyline Drive in Virginia. We used to go stay in a town called Luray, and we usually stayed during the week. And it just everything was just a little bit more calm. You didn't have a whole bunch of people on the trails annoying you. You didn't have children running all around except for us. That was always good stuff. And then what's funny is, you're talking about memory, you know? One of the worst times we ever went down there, we ended up going over to Busch Gardens, and it was during the weekend, and it was just offensively bad. Just billions of people stacked on top of everybody, millions of dollars for everything.
That's the way it is during the Apple Festival. I don't know why your friends like to go up there so much.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to LJ for the Apple Festival or anything. I've gone through there, and it seems like a cool town, but
Yeah, they got a brand new theater, and it's really nice. We've gone up there and seen several movies. We went up there and watched Die Hard Christmas Eve. That was killer. I've never seen Die Hard on the silver screen, you know, the big screen.
Yeah.
That was an epic day right there. We all had a ball.
I saw Die Hard in series or in sequence as a kid, but the first one I saw in the theater was Die Hard 3. And that was a letdown and a half after seeing, you know, the first two.
Right.
The first one specifically, and then man, Die Hard 3
is epic. I mean, it's not Christmas until Bruce Willis throws Hans Gruber off the top of a building. I mean,
yeah,
it's not Christmas.
Absolutely. I mean, I have a whole Christmas thing, Gremlins, and I've got a whole Christmas movie lineup.
Gremlins, Christmas Vacation, Die Hard.
Yep, absolutely. Christmas Vacation is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I think that's where I started to envision what a perfect wife would be with Beverly D'Angelo back when I was like, I don't know, 13 or whatever the hell, however old we were when that movie came out.
Oh God, it's such a good one.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I know, Oli guy. We got a rambling night tonight, don't we? It's probably my fault, not keeping us on point.
Damn, we went from making brass case frogs to alcoholic drinks. Now we're talking about Christmas movies.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I know this is my fault because that's how my brain works. My brain jumps all that way. All that shit made sense in order.
Let me pull out the book of things I never thought we'd talk about on the live chat, Alex.
Absolutely. Lethal Weapon, absolutely. Trading Places has never made it on my Christmas list. Lethal Weapon does. Lethal Weapon starts with the daggum Christmas song.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely a Christmas movie. Jerry got the Lyman All-American 8. Signal Soldier has one as well. He showcased it on our channel. I don't know if you saw it back then. He might be able to give you some tips on setting it up. That looks like a really cool press.
Yeah, that's an interesting looking press. I'm interested in that one.
And for those of y'all that like older movies, you can't forget Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Chico?
Oh no, I just seen that press on sale too. Yeah, I hope he got a good deal on it. I think the Scotsman has that press. He does have that.
He does, and I'm interested in that or the Redding T7, but my pocketbook will probably be leaning more toward the Lyman 8. But I think for dead nuts rifle loads, those, but with a couple of tricks that Eagle Eye showed me, I'm not afraid to use my 4-hole classic cast turret press for any rifle loads. And I'm going to be starting up on 270 here soon to get ready for that. Our shooting gathering that we're talking about. Do we need to talk about that for a little bit and then talk about some 30-30 again?
If you want to. I don't know much about it, folks. So, yeah, you go ahead.
Well, I got an email from Scott today or yesterday, and he was, that T-Mag's interesting too, Nathan. What the idea is right now we're leaning toward Friday, July the 5th. That way, if you've got that whole week to get in there, and then you've got the weekend to get back home from wherever you want to come from. I want to encourage everybody that can make it to come and join us. They're talking about kicking off their own YouTube channel for that place. It's called Dead Zero, and it's about 30 minutes north of Chattanooga. So if you're coming in from out of town, you might want to check on hotels or camping. I think we're going to work up some camping arrangements up there close to the place. Like 10 or 15 minutes away, there's a couple of national parks. They offered to set us up some primitive type camping there on site, which is interesting to me too. But then again, I'm less than 2 hours from my own bed, so you can try to figure that out. So
I think if I drove up there and enough people showed up, I don't think I could be able to go home. Have to stay there and fellowship for a little bit.
Yeah, an overnight fellowship with a bunch of our TNN authors and YouTube friends would be just a great time. And again, guys, if y'all are interested in coming, please let me know or let Scott know, Insight Freedom. Y'all can email either one of us, or you can message me on Slack. Bacon would love to see you up there. I think Jeremy Gunslinger's coming from Arkansas. Would love to see Preacher's Day Off and Ozark Spirit come too. Maybe y'all meet up and ride together. Michael Sines, I think he's coming. I hope he does. Bummer, Curtis. Curtis said he's got to be on call that weekend, but Lever Guns 5110. Maybe you can ride up from Auburn. We'll meet you in Atlanta. You can ride up with us. Anybody that I talked to, which reminds me, I got to ask this question. I talked to Idaho Rogers today, and he is talking about if he's in the area in his truck that weekend, he's coming. Of course, he's still recuperating from his hospital visit, but I told him just call me and I'll go to the truck stop and pick him up and take him back whenever he gets ready. There should be plenty of hotel space in Chattanooga. You guys that want a hotel room, then you can camp here or there or whatever. But
in Idaho, he can park the truck at my dealership. That's fine, and he ain't got to worry about people messing with his stuff.
Well, there you go.
I've got a tent, and somebody's got the side of the road. I'll be good.
As long as there's 2 trees, I got a hammock. That's what I'm saying. It ain't nothing to me. I don't care. I'd rather stay there and drive home the next day. Just because I don't think the time that we're going to have together for that one time, especially because a lot of us are going to be meeting each other for the first time. There's going to be a lot of conversations, and it takes time to have all that. And we got to have a fire, and we got to grill some steaks. I mean, come on.
Yeah, or a hot dog.
No, and bacon.
Yeah, I'm a man of simple means. A hot dog and a stick. I'm good.
Yeah. There you go. Uncle Jim, you can come down off that mountain and get you a plane ticket. We'll pick you up at the airport in Atlanta.
I'll tell you what, I'd be willing, as broke as I am, and I mean, I'm McDonald's ice cream machine broke. But I would love to throw in, to get Uncle Jim a plane ticket to get his ass over here. That'd be awesome.
Man, I don't think it would happen even if the money was there. Can't get Uncle Jim to go over to Mike's house, and it's down the road about 15 minutes.
They're not that close, are they?
It's not too far away. He's a hermit, man. I get it. I'm a hermit as well.
Oh, yeah, I don't like leaving the house either. I get home from work, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
If I didn't pick it up on the way home, I don't get it. And hell, I got Walmart on the same side of 41 as me.
Dude, I feel that, man. It's like a 10-minute ride at the most to get to a grocery store. And I'm like, well, I ain't got no buns. I guess I'm going without.
Hamburger steak.
Yep.
Jamie can tell you Walmart is what, a quarter mile from my house?
If you're on 41, man, I can just take 41 all the way up. That'd be a nice ride.
Yeah, we'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
the 9th.
Man, it's not too bad until you start getting up close to the wad of nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like it swaps across the interstate 100 times and disappears and reappears. And
you talking Macon or Atlanta?
I can follow 41 through Macon. I've done that. I've tried to go up to Atlanta on 41 and gave up.
Just gave up. The hell with it.
Yeah, it was too hard, man. It was just it kept disappearing and then cropping back up later on.
Yeah, 41 starts cutting through neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah, and if you're trying to use like a map type thing and you got traffic everywhere, it's just like, nah, this is dangerous. I'm gonna run into somebody.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Well, guys, if you can join up with us, that is going to be a hoot nanny.
It seems it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome, man.
Put together.
Uncle Jim says he quit flying after the strip search. Hell, I started flying more after that. The most play I've gotten in a while.
You just got to get in the right line, Jim.
Yeah. He must have had somebody with big hands.
What you do is
if
if stuff starts getting weird, you go through the TSA line, and as soon as you get up there and they start rubbing all on you, you go, "Hi."
Yeah. Just start backing into it. That'll creep him out, man. Right, all right, go ahead.
Okay.
I love Jamie's segues, man. When the conversation gets off the train. Okay, well, back to something else.
Yeah, well, I was thinking it wasn't the strip search. It was, never mind. I ain't going there.
Meanwhile, at the motel.
Coy, how'd you get that Harley up there on the high dive anyway?
Don't answer the phone, Udden.
I know it. It ain't gay if it's TSA. There you go, Cameron. How you liking them bullets, buddy?
that is a weird situation. Like if you're in line, right, to go through the detector and you just take your clothes off, they're going to arrest you for indecent exposure. But if you go through that thing and they decide they want you to take your clothes off, then it's a whole nother story.
Uh,
Who else we
Curtis?
got here? West Covina Dawes, glad to see you, brother. Let me
Ribbit.
update, see what we got going on.
Curtis, if you'll fly into Chattanooga, I'll come get you.
Yeah, man. If you
We're
fly
there.
into Tifton here, I'll throw you on the back of the bike if I'm on the bike. Get you one of those football helmets. Look like Jack Nicholson. I've got a whole thing in my head now. All of a sudden, the whole Easy Rider thing with Curtis. So you show them that you're free.
I think it'd be more like Wild Hogs.
Oh boy. Yeah, there are some small. That's why I said Tifton. Tifton's close by here, and it's pretty small.
Tonight's been a lot of fun, guys. It really has.
Curtis, Chattanooga's only like 30, 35 minutes away from that place. There may be a airport at the small town that it's actually in, but I'm not sure.
Later, Cletus. Echo, I haven't watched Easy Rider in so long. I might have to throw it on. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Yeah, that is the cross country, ain't it, brother?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I can't see the side chat, so I don't know what y'all are talking about.
So Echo and the Bunny Man, how you feeling, brother? I hope you're doing better. He's been in the hospital a little bit lately too, so I'm gonna have to plug my computer up or we're all gonna go dead here in a minute. Hold on just a second. I noticed my screen was getting dim and look down, I'm down to about 20%. So
Yeah,
good night, Cranky.
had to bring my power cord out here on the back porch. I really got to clean some of this crap up. Well, I'll tell you this. I've got a tent laying on top of a torpedo diesel fuel heater with a tripod laying on top of it, with a weed eater laying on top of it, 4 gas cans, yes, count them 4, a weed sprayer, and 11 buckets of wheel. Jamie, you've seen the back porch. I got to clean this up.
Yeah. There's 10, man. So, yeah, I'm hoping as many people that can. The reason we're kind of shooting for Friday, check this out, guys, is Friday night live stream all together in one place, live and in living color. The 4 of us, Scott and the owner and the operator of the range, helping them to kick off their YouTube channel. It'll be a great time.
That would be fun. Are they going to have the 1,000-yard completed by then? Because I was watching Scott's video and I don't know.
It ain't looking like it, brother, but I'll try to find out. And
I think they're pushing right for June, like even though June is tomorrow. But yeah, when I was reading some of the comments and people were talking about, they was like mid-June they should be done, because all the rain they had up there slowed down the progress. It'll be awesome if it's done.
They're doing everything they can do, and if they're anything like us, it ain't wet no more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna be an awesome little get together, man. With especially when Insight said that they're trying to start their own YouTube channel, and we can probably collab to help each other. That'll be I think that'll be pretty dang slick.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be awesome.
One of the things I'm looking forward to is actually meeting Nathan face to face and us having all four of us together in the same place for our live stream.
That will be different. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Because right now, I think there's about 300 miles separating us all.
Yeah, I know, right? The name of that place is Dead Zero, right?
Dead Zero Shooting Park. Yeah.
I'll put that here on the chat. Yeah, that yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to that too. Is getting to kind of meet and hang out with everybody and for us to kind of, I don't know.
Well,
Think it's
10
gonna be
man,
awesome.
10 man, I hope you can make it. One thing's for sure, you won't be in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, we actually have trees. You don't have to watch Kansas Public Broadcasting and wait for a Bob Ross show to come on to see what a tree looks like.
I can't imagine Kay Erdis being able to leave his grass for that long. I mean, I think he has to mow every other day.
Who's that?
10 man.
Oh,
Kay Erdis.
Hey, I normally see, and I know he's down here, AR Precision. Isn't he down here with us?
That sounds right.
I wonder if he knows about it. Jamie, I think you've contacted him before, haven't you?
who's that?
AR Precision. He's in Georgia somewhere.
Yes, he's in Macon, I believe. Around Macon. But last time I tried to get in touch with him, I didn't get a response. So
Hope he's all right.
I'll keep trying. Yeah, 10 man, she can cut the grass. Come on, buddy. Anybody wants to, we can meet them at the airport. We'll make a way.
Now we can invite extra people that may not be YouTube video makers, right?
Do
Yeah,
what?
he's going to come for sure.
Yeah. I remember Insight was saying, yeah, it don't have to be content creators. It can be people who watch our stuff or who don't watch our stuff.
Right. I've got a real good friend of mine, and it almost worked out where Jamie could have met him, but I work with him, and he goes shooting with me down there all the time. I think he would really enjoy it if he could get away from the family for a day or two. I don't know if he'll be able to, especially around a holiday weekend like that.
Yeah. I said
getaways are always
I don't
good.
know that.
He likes longer range shooting as well, so it's gonna be fun.
By longer range, you mean like what, like 50 yards?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about as long as I think I do anymore.
So 10 man went to the Falcons camp. What's up with that? Maybe he had a tryout.
That's where he got all the muscle shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, he was down there checking the lawn, making sure it was up to par.
Speaking of
He was
par,
down there doing the combine and decided to hell with it, I'm gonna pick up this lawnmower.
Flowery Branch is nice though. 17 hours, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's about my time. 18 is about as long as I've done.
I can tell you this: if you leave Santa Rosa, New Mexico, and don't stop for anything but gas and groceries, shove some groceries down your neck, get back in the vehicle, you can be in Rome, Georgia in 21 hours.
Hell, I can go to Texarkana and back in 18 hours.
We left Santa Rosa, stopped and ate twice. One of them was at a Waffle House, so you know it didn't take that long. Actually, I think that was in Birmingham. We left. It took 21 hours, not counting for the time changes, but it was 21 hours of driving to get from Santa Rosa damn near to the house. My dad looked at me and goes, "You know, we've been driving for 21 hours straight." I was like, "Oh my God." But he had to be at work on Monday, so we was coming home.
My only one that I had that was really kind of set up much more Burt Reynolds-ish than I would have liked. It was Saturday at noon. We were sitting at the bar opened at noon. So we were sat at the bar. We had a beer. We got in my truck, and we hauled ass, and we went all the way to Junction City, Kansas from Belleville, Illinois, picked up a motor scooter, dealt with a man with slaves, and then drove all the way straight back by the time the bar closed at 2. And that truck of mine, that thing was hard as nails. It was sitting on the rev limiter the entire way back. So it was doing that 96 mile an hour the whole way back.
Must have been a Chevrolet.
Yep. Poor thing. But it lived. I think I think my buddy Tony was in the back on the scooter at one point. We had a good time. Junction City, Kansas. That is in the middle of nowhere.
I rode.
They pump nowhere into there.
Yeah.
I know where you're talking about, and you're correct.
I rode my Harley from Mena, Arkansas to my house. I left it was like 13 hours. And I stopped whenever my butt started hurting because I was by myself and I could. 2 hours sitting on the bike, you ready to get off.
I was about to say, brother, Fort Smith is about 8 hours from my house, and you're 30 minutes from my house, if that. So you must have stopped quite a bit, or you don't drive as fast as I do.
That was in the rain on a motorcycle, Kyle.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I can be in Fort Smith, which is right outside the Oklahoma line, in 8 hours.
Well, you got to go to get to Mena. You got to go to Fort Smith, turn left, and go south another 2 hours.
Okay, I got you. All right.
It's right on the Arkansas border.
Speaking of Arkansas, did you see those videos their preacher put up of the creek? Whew.
Yeah.
I wouldn't come to the creek right now.
Boy.
Oh, my Lord.
Ain't that something, man?
Man, he went over that bridge, and I mean, he had to have been 1.5 miles to 2 miles away from the damn river, and it was still
a river.
flooded. Like, oh my God! And we drives a popcorn fart. What the hell's up with that?
That was just crazy.
One of his comments on that video was said, "Oceanfront property everywhere."
So much for the generators.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sitting there looking. I went, "Aren't those buildings that are probably on land?"
Yeah. Well, when he got off the bridge and you see these little pop patches of land, I'm like, that's all supposed to be contiguous.
Right.
Like, I was like, that thing is really broke banks. I remember, what was it, was it the Mississippi that broke banks real bad when we were kids, Kyle? I mean, like real bad, like 92-ish, 91.
And flooded everything from like Michigan down or whatever.
Yeah. I remember seeing that when I was a kid and thinking, oh my God, like that's just crazy.
The first time that I crossed the Mississippi, I was like, man, this is a big ass river.
Yeah, it ain't small.
And then it actually brought me back to that when that happened, and I was like, oh man, I remember that. Yeah. It was back.
There's thoughts of an old soldier. I hope you can make it to our shooting event too, brother.
Come on up to the house. I'll give you a ride, brother.
Preacher's Day off. We really want you to come if you can. We're going to meet at Dead Zero Shooting Park just north of Chattanooga, Tennessee on July the 5th. So we hope everybody, he came in right after I was talking about that. I put up an announcement on our Georgia Shooting Connection page on Slack, and I also put it on TRN Authors page, and I got to get it on Headspace. And I think I hope to go meet up with Scott and go up there and check it out in person before I actually do some shooting up there before the date. And
That'll be cool. Let me and Chico know, and we'll just make it a road trip. If you don't,
I've really been enjoying that Headspace like a lot, maybe more than I should. That's just been a lot of fun.
isn't it though?
Chico, me and you probably need to put it on Instagram too. I don't know if Scott's put it on there yet or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video since we got a date. Cause remember at first we were teetering on the 3rd, 4th, or 5th fish. So we got a definite date now, the 5th. And yeah, I'll definitely put it on Instagram and tag you. And I know they're like 3 on Instagram. So
We need to see if Scotsman and Jesse B can make it down too.
Yeah, you need to drag a mooser up there, Nathan.
Whoever can come, man.
No, he ain't gonna do nothing, brother. July 4th is his thing, man. He'll have a whole parcel of people at his place.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought about it, because I'd love to have Rob come up with us, but I know July 4th is his thing, so he's probably gonna be out festivizing all weekend long. So
Festivizing.
Man, I can make up some words, let me tell you.
Old Soldier, there's good people in Chattanooga.
Well, you know the cool thing about it. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. The cool thing about it after we establish that relationship with the owner and stuff like that, again later, and here other people.
Yeah, that's
I see you moving. I thought I froze.
We're having trouble with Chico. But Appalachian Reloader, yeah, we're talking about Spencer, Tennessee. So, Curtis, that's the name of that little town. I couldn't come up with it. So, you might check and see if they've got a airport, and then we can come get you.
Oh, is he wanting to fly his own plane up here?
Well, if he can get off, he's scheduled to work on call that weekend. But and Chico, that date is our preliminary working date. It's not etched in stone yet, but I think it will be over the next week or so.
Gotcha, brother.
Oh, come on, Andy. You can do 888 miles.
Hey, Georgia boy.
800 miles ain't nothing.
Putting
Now,
Doritos
888, you might have to stop for fuel. Hop in your Tesla and let's go.
Oh, my God. I don't know what it is about Tin Man, but he has a direct line to my funny bone. Like, somebody
What did he say?
We just talking about talking about other stuff in the sidetrack, and he's like, like putting Doritos in a Lay's bag, and just, I don't know why that hit me right. We were talking about Curtis said something about putting cheap coffee into a Starbucks cup, which led me to say that all Starbucks is cheap coffee in an expensive cup. And anyway, Oh man.
Oh, that's what bothers me about going to the back porch. I can't read the side chat.
Yeah. Hey, Chico Eyes joined this hangout. At least that's what my phone just told me.
That's
My phone
what
is
my phone
wired.
told me too.
So 30-30 stuff. Yeah, because we're not getting close to being able to we're getting closer to shutdown time. So you want to go over some 30-30 stuff there, Jamie?
Yeah, I was going to tell you what all modes I got that we can load in 30-30. Yeah, I know it's a long way, guys. Bacon, you can do 1,025 miles. We'll pick you up at the airport too, bro. Come on. If you can, we'd love to have you. So, Georgia boy, you'll probably be interested in this, and Andy, we'll get to 30-06. Any of them that you can load in 30-30, technically you can load them in 30-06. But I have, I done sent all my bullets away, guys. I don't have any bullets to show y'all. I mailed them all out today. MCK should have a box soon, and I sent Cup of Joe some. I have when Nathan gets back. Can you hear me, Nathan?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. I'm just digging out my 30 cal mold.
Well, I could dig mine out, but it'll take a minute. I got them all stored away.
Oh.
I have NOE 312 165 grain flat point, and Chico's got it right there. One cavity of that mold does plain base, the other cavity does gas check, and it took me a while to figure that out. So that's a plain base one. Then I have the Lee 170 grain flat point, which is a gas check design. And I have the Lee. There's that one. I gas checked those for Chico Wise. Can you see that one?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to show them, I'll put you up on the screen, Chico.
He's got a special lens on there too.
And there's the Lee 180 grain round tip, round nose. That one fell over on the tray, so it got a little bit mushed up. Those are the hardest ones to keep standing up in the. And there's the 170 grain gas check.
I've got the Lee 150 and 200 grain.
And there's the NOE bullet. I'm intrigued with that NOE bullet. That's going to be what I like about that mold is one of them's gas check and the other one's plain base. So that's going to be cool. And it seemed like, oh yeah, then I've got that 135 grain spire point. It's a single cavity Lyman mold, and the number on that is 311 410. 311 410, and it is a 135 grain plain base design. Did I send you any of them, Chico? I don't think I had any of those casted up when I sent yours. You're muted, bro.
Sorry. No, I just had those three I showed. The NOE and 2 Lees.
Well, I've shown y'all that one several times, but that one's intriguing too. And
but
Chico,
you don't want to load it in a damn tubular magazine.
not the 180. The other two will be fine in a tubular magazine.
Oh yeah,
right.
the round.
That flat point. That 180 grain round nose, I bought it mainly for 30-06 because yeah, 10 hours ain't bad. You can do that, buddy. I'd love to meet y'all, as many of us as we can, face to face, and be it'd just be a blessing. And let me get Chico off of here. He's going to get a complex.
I've got the Lee 150 flat nose and the Lee 200 flat nose, and it's not that I mind or anything like that, but I got so tired of Timothy Robinson calling and asking me for bullets that I just sent him a damn mold.
Nice. Well, all right. So, from what I can tell, what I've got here is the RCBS 180 flat nose. Right. I don't know if you can see enough of that, but it's kind of it has a lot of loop grooves in it. Anyway, so that makes it 150, 160, 170, 180, and 200 grain flat nose. If we can't figure out one that each of our guns like, out of all those, we're a sorry lot.
What are you talking about? You just cut off one of the loop grooves? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, look, you've got a 150.
Oh, never.
He's got a 160, 170. I've got a 180. And somebody said they had a 200 grain all flat nose so that we could run in our Marlin.
Yeah. I've got a 150 and a 200. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool, man. We could have, that'd be a lot of different bullets to try.
Yeah. So let's start casting them up and start sending them to each other.
All right.
Man,
We'll send What, Kyle?
I said it's too damn hot to start doing that now. We live in Georgia.
I cast inside, brother. My life is easier. Bacon says that mine casted about 191 grains for him, so it might be a little heavier. But all of them run for me. Almost everything runs heavy because I don't.
Now, did y'all know?
Mix.
Sorry, Nathan. Did y'all know on Headspace they have a cast bullet exchange?
Yeah.
Okay. So there'll be another option if someone has one that we don't have or something. We can exchange some bullets, see which one works. Because I don't own
I'm sorry.
I don't own a rifle mode yet, but I want to buy one. Are those ones that you have, Jamie? Are they 2 cavity?
All of those that I sent you are 2 cavity molds.
Okay.
I've also got access to that little ass 30 carbine bullet, and I think it's a single cavity. What is that thing, like 110 grain fire point? I know that wouldn't be too good in a Marlin, but
yeah, I think MCK sent me some of those. I've got some of those here somewhere.
I've got quite a bit of the 150s and 200s already cast up. They're not powder coated or sized, but that would be perfect to send to y'all because y'all all can powder coat and size them.
Yeah.
To whatever you want. I got some that are sized. I think I've got several spaghetti sauce jars that aren't. They're just cast. Let me see what I can come up with.
I might actually have to go to Walmart and see if I can find me some sinkers. With that micro groove, I don't trust trying to do my normal barrel sizing method.
What, to slug a barrel?
Yeah, I usually slug a barrel with a bullet. I just cast a bullet, or actually I usually cast 3 bullets out of stick-on wheel weights, and then I'll peen them a touch to fatten them up, and then I can do that. But with these long bullets and that micro groove barrel, I got half of mine that if I try to do that, I might not get a good reading. But if I can find a sinker that's oversized, I got a better chance of getting a good reading.
They looked. The guy at Cabela's looked real funny at me when I was sitting there with calipers measuring.
Yeah, measuring your sinkers. Yeah, absolutely. This one comes in at 314. It'll be perfect.
He said, it's got the weight right on the bag, man. What are you doing? I said, I don't give a shit about the weight. I'm looking for the diameter.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot this damn thing.
Oh.
Like you damn casters, bullet casters.
I said, I'm looking for the diameter, brother.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yeah, what he's talking about, Andy says that 170 grain flat point bullet that I sent Chico. I'm assuming it's the same one. When you use zinc to cast it, it only weighs like 100 grains. So, yeah, man,
Too weird.
that'd be some cooking. Woo. And he's using that bullet and loading it in 30-06.
That's a worm burning little bastard right there.
And he's using, he said what he was using. Come on, help me out here a little bit.
H110.
12 to 13 grains of unique.
Oh wow.
Reduced cast loads with unique are really common.
Nathan, I probably got some sinkers for you.
I can just go grab them.
I slugged my 30 cal barrels a while back, and I think I had a couple I didn't use, and they were perfect. Yeah, they're like 313 or something like that.
Yeah, I'll just go to Academy and grab them. It's just cheaper than mailing them even.
Well, if Academy's got a pretty good fishing section, so
Yeah.
you said Walmart at first. I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, it's that was just for effect. I don't go into Walmart unless like I have to.
I don't go into
3031
Walmart
for everything.
I
Please you are
can
correct.
drag me in.
In fact, for shooting 3030, that's the first powder I'd grab is 3031, but that's my nature. And I'm sure that Jamie's going to grab some of that Western powder as tack or something like that.
I love that. What Ramshot tack. And
Yep.
I don't know if y'all saw it earlier, but Tin Man asked me if I'd used a different, I think it's Exterminator, Western Exterminator, Western Ramshot Exterminator with lighter bullets in 223. And I told him not. 55 grains about as light as I'll load in 223 because I basically load them up if I'm going to hunt with them.
Echo asked about chamber cast metal. Yeah, I've got some of that somewhere around here for doing chamber cast, and it'll melt with hot water, even like boiling hot water. Works good. But I've never used it for cast and for checking a bore. This stuff seems a little too sticky for my taste. For that.
Yeah, a good fishing sinker, as long as it's pretty close, and you may have to take some sandpaper to it or something, take it down a couple of thousandths. Just a nice cleaning rod and a little brass hammer, and just ding, 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 ding. Just be sure and lube it up a little bit first. And
lube it up, then ding, 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 ding.
That's what I said.
Ding, 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 ding.
Let's see what I got up here. Here's what I use to slug my. I use the worm weights. Nathan, can you see that?
Yeah. Yep.
Instead of the egg sinkers, I use the worm weights because they're more shaped like a bullet.
Yeah, you get better lead in with them.
Yeah, and it was right at 312 out of my Mosin, so my finished Mosin. And then I've got one somewhere I did my 35 Remington, but I can't find it. It slugs at 356, which is incredible for a 35 Remington.
Yeah. What do they normally slug at?
Seems like most of it's hard to read it really, because you got 12 micro grooves.
Yeah.
And they're little V-shaped grooves. So it's hard to read it on the high spots. But
I can go in there and get my NOE size and die insert and tell you what mine is. But then again, you have to buy a bigger insert to size it smaller. I don't know why they can't just put this hole is this big. They can't do it. It says 358. It comes out 356. It says 356. It comes out 359. It's one way or the other, and I can't remember what it is. But I got the one that I liked, and I've got the other 3 that I bought sat in a bag over here. Those aren't it.
Somebody was talking about, and I don't advocate for this, but somebody was talking about with rifles, as long as you're not over by more than like 5 or 6 thousandths, just shoot them.
There ought to be pressure there.
Well, what they were talking about, what they were saying is the jacketed bullets have a tendency to be up to 4 thousandths bigger than groove diameter anyway. And when you wanted to get down to 1 thousandths, it was, it was so that you didn't have leading issues. And then with PC, that takes care of that. So just go ahead and shoot them unless they're way too big. I don't know. I think I might do some experimenting with that at some point, but be interesting to find out. And I'm sure every gun will be different. Uncle Jim's Worm Farm, yes sir, Tin Man. I find that all the time because I'm constantly trying to figure out like if Uncle Jim has like if I'm trying to stalk him, trying to find out if he has any kind of like professional like theater work or anything like that. Make a zinc bullet, it'll give you the overall diameter. Yeah, why am I so sleepy tonight?
I think we all are, brother.
What happens with me is I've slugged my 35 Remington barrel because it was part of the process. And a lot of the guys are saying don't slug them unless you have to and all that kind of stuff. But I know those weights that I use to slug mine are about as soft as lead as you can get because they're, fishing weights. And but mine slugged, my 35 Remington slugged at 356, and I'm casting 358 bullets, then powder coating, and then sizing them back down to 358, and they shoot pretty good most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm looking through my little thing right here, see if I can find the right insert.
Bacon said that he shot some 311 bullets and 300 blackout. Yeah, man, I something I want to test because here's what the few things I do know about bullet sizing is almost no matter what way you do it, you are deforming that bullet. That's what the bullet sizing does. It's just you're trying to deform it in a uniform way, and if you can just not do that, it's got to be better, right? I mean, but to what point, If I shoot the thing and it's 3 thousandths over, but my gun for whatever reason doesn't like it and it's spraying them all over the place, it's better to size them. I don't know. There's my 30 cal bullets or 311. Yeah, I mean that's been my case as well from what I've seen. Most of my bullets are oversized unless they're coming out of a Lyman mold, and most of my Lyman molds are, a little bit small.
Well, it's getting about that time, fellas.
Yeah. About time for me to top off this cup of coffee. Son of a...
I guess I'll have to share my bullet diameter on a later date.
Well, guys and girls, thanks for hanging out with us and joining our conversation. And hopefully we'll get a lot of you all to join us at Dead Zero Shooting Park next month sometime. Y'all follow Jamie and pay attention to what Insight, and I may even post some videos about updates on that. We'd love to see you and just, shoot with you guys and actually just enjoy each other and talk. So thanks for having me, guys, to all my panel members and everyone in the side chat. So that's it for me.
I'm sorry, guys. I was looking for something. It sounds like a really great time, and I really can't wait to meet some of you guys for the first time. I feel like we're all family. We already know each other anyway, so it sounds great. We'll get a definite date. I'll throw some videos up and on multiple platforms. Oh, look, the side chat, side chats come to life. But yeah, I'll throw it up on multiple social media platforms and get as much exposure as I can get. Sounds like it's going to be a great time. I really can't wait for it, and I hope it all comes together like we're all thinking that it's going to. So, Jamie?
Well, I hope I didn't bore y'all too much talking about it, but I'm pretty excited about it. And Scott, I don't know that you heard the conversation about our shooting event, but I put up a notice about it on Slack today, and I hopefully get that transferred over to Headspace tonight or tomorrow one. And I got to get to the range. I still got those 3 sets of ladder loads I need to test in the Mauser and the 35 Remington and in my AR. So looking forward to doing that. But I want to encourage everybody that can come be with us that weekend. Scott, I don't know if you can hear me, but have we definitely set the date for July the 5th? I seen the email you sent me today, but we're going with we need to get a head count, and we can meet anywhere on the way or meet there at the place, or we can meet in Chattanooga. Those of us coming from Georgia, we can meet up in the Atlanta, Kennesaw area somewhere, and maybe at Cabela's, and give everybody a chance to go in and get something that they needed. And that might work out pretty well. So, no, it's not definite yet. So, but we are penciling in as a preliminary working date Friday, July the 5th, and trying to get confirmation from Ground Zero Shooting Park. And if it all works out like I've got it pictured in my mind, we'll be doing our live stream from that place that night. Guys, we've had, I think, 40 to 45 on tonight. Y'all continue to overwhelm us. With a Bullet Man, I'm praying for you, buddy. I hope you get feeling better real quick. And Uncle Jim, I guess you're having a hat chat tomorrow night. Remember to check out the Scotsman on Foreign and Domestic on Sunday night. It'll either be at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock. I think 7 o'clock. But be sure to check him out too. And with that, Nathan.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. It's been a really hoot and a holla. Like for everybody to send out some prayers to those fellas in Arkansas that are dealing with this flooding. Willie could probably stand a prayer too, even though he'd never tell you that. I hope everybody is doing really, really well, and that this weekend finds you well. You had a good Memorial weekend and everything was safe. But we love all of you. Thank you for coming out, and we will see you next week. Until then, go check us out on Headspace, the Reloaders Network. I'm on Instagram. Kyle's on Instagram. Chico's on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Just holler at us somewhere, Slack, and let us know if you got any ideas for anything we want to cover. We'd love to hear from you. So have a good night, and we might see you tomorrow night at Uncle Jim's house. Night, everybody.